Do not disturb. Good morning. Let me put on YouTube here. Oh, I'm going to turn down I had to restart my phone. I don't know if anybody on an iPhone has had this. Bearish Apple. But my weather was giving me fits. I couldn't see the radar. I want to look at GNS. We want to check up on our short positions where we're at. GNS 444 closed at 455. It'll pop to 5 today. Morning, Zephin. I think it's here. Let's look at GNS. We're gonna look at a GNS. And 4 hours probably the best way to look at this, just because it gets 2 candles a day rather than 1 candle a day. But the volume's kind of trending down. What's ironic is, this is funny, the algorithm got you in at 56 cents. I mean, if you can find one of these, it's crazy. I don't know that you'll ever find one. I'm looking at, what's that? Shopify is up 5.4%. Is that real? I guess so. There's a gap here between 40 and 41. Time to sell Shopify, and it says it's trading at 45. Hold on. Let's see what popped Shopify. Did they pre-announce earnings? Nope. An upgrade from Deutsche Bank. That wouldn't have done it. Although $50. Set to announce financial results. Those wouldn't have done it. Shopify stock sees relative strength. Rating jump to 84. Let's see. This isn't the RSI. God, I hate when they do this. Logimark. I hate when I have to open up a second freaking tab for this. Yahoo does this. Yahoo has figured out a way to double their revenue, basically by having you. And if you could invest in Yahoo, I'd say do it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Verizon actually owns Yahoo. Stock got a positive adjustment to its regular strength rating from. This makes no sense. Oh, this is just Investors Business Daily. Ugh. Okay. That wouldn't have pushed the stock, but the stock is up at 45. Yeah. That's what I'm wondering. Let's look at Shopify. I don't know. Was Shopify one of them? And I read, so this is, no, it's up at 44.70. Here, the 2-day. You can see. I mean, this has just been a monster. Yesterday at 41. I mean, shit. Yes, in pre-market today, you could have bought it at 41. It was sliding with everything else. And then it looks at like 5 a.m. It just started its way up. If you got puts, I can't find news on it. But what I heard yesterday was that, and Amazon's down 3%. Those stocks that wound up getting pumped and then dumped, they negated a bunch of trades. So if you bought, for instance, and it was mainly on the way up, Walmart was the big one. And let's see if the stock candles have adjusted. No, they have not. So Walmart, essentially, if you bought at the 151 price here, they negated it. I think it was above a certain percentage, like probably about 143. They negated it, which is crazy. They do have rules around that, but again, it looks like the stock charts haven't necessarily been updated with, hey, look at Exxon. You went down to the 200-day at 104. Imagine, that's a nice 10% gain if you got that one. General Jim Cramer, buy. It's a good stock. Wells Fargo was one. I know that because somebody yelled, "Thank God I got rid of my Wells Fargo." Wells Fargo went all the way down to $40. Closed at 44. So you made, if you got $40, you made 10%. Even though it was a red candle and it wound up down. So ironic. I wanted to check on. Oh, I wasn't even showing you guys. There's the candles. But I wanted to check on some of our shorts. And Faraday. FFIE. We're at 96. Still not as good as yesterday's $1.10, $1.12. But still good. GNS is at 446. hlbz we want to check in on. That one pumped yesterday in the open and then dumped the whole way. And if you haven't watched, I still don't know what the fuck Charlie was talking about on his video last night, Ziptrader Charlie. He talked about he said goodbye to YouTube, but then he said we're going to build a community and it's going to be on YouTube. I don't know. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he wanted your email address because I think he's starting a newsletter. Because newsletters, if you guys don't listen to My First Millions podcast, you should. Those guys just build newsletters and make millions of dollars doing it. Mind you, it's a lot of work. You got to have that funnel, and they've developed a funnel where they can do it. Sean just here. Let's go and look. The Milk Road Crypto. Milk Road daily newsletter focused on crypto. This is his newsletter that he just sold for millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. I mean, he built it last year. Let's see, about us. Editorial team. And I guess he didn't. There he is. Sean Purry and Ben Levy. Yeah, they just started. I mean, this is essentially, these guys just started the Milk Road. These two mainly, I think. Started the Milk Road. Got a bunch of, it looks like 250,000 people to sign up. Incredible open rates. Great ad rates. Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. And you can read about it here. And so my guess is that's what Ziptrader Charlie is doing. Morning, Jesse. That's my guess. Oh, I'm sorry. Why was I on that? Here, this is the Milk Road. So if you go to the milkroad.com and you go down, not the editorial team, but the leadership, Sean Purry and Ben Levy, those are the two that started the Milk Road. And it's a daily newsletter. And so once a day, they put out the newsletter. And that's it. I mean, it's don't get me wrong, it's a lot of work. And developing that funnel of people and getting people to subscribe. And this is what Charlie's doing. Charlie probably sees the benefit in having a daily newsletter rather than just a daily. And I've talked about it with you guys. I'm going to start it. I'm not going to make millions of dollars because I don't have 250,000 people signed up. At some point, I'm hoping. But I don't. I have thousands of people. Tens of thousands per month that would probably sign up, not daily, but who knows? Let's go to Market Scanner. We're going to scan some stocks. Jesse, ironically, I think you were the one that gave me Hershey, HSY, and Hershey crossed up yesterday. I'm going to bring it up, but here I still had the alert in my system, but here Hershey 220.28. Probably not a bad time to buy in. If you look at a weekly chart of this, it's not as dramatic. You're coming back down to the 50-day. But I don't think it's crazy expensive. The earnings are coming up. It's a consumer packaging company with chocolate and stuff. PE's a little bit high kind of when I looked at it, but I'll bring it up. Downgrade Evercore $245 price target, but you're not even at that. You're at 220. 245 would be a nice 10% gain. So I like that one though. So I've got some money that I need to put in. Today's a buying day for me. I got a bunch of money that my parents gave me in their account to manage their account. So I'm going to be managing a certain amount of money for them. Bank of America, secondary cross up. And PFE, Pfizer. Those are in our core portfolio. Those are two cross ups in the core portfolio. Let me look at my brokerage holdings to see if there's anything else. Nope. I own most of the core. So SCO. This is the bearish. This is the bearish triple levered ETF on oil. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting move right there. It trades on the futures of oil. And I know, you turn on CNBC this morning, and it's all about oil, Tesla, and Boeing. But that's an interesting cross-up right there. KOLD, let's see. KOLD is one that I hate to say and recommend KOLD. And the reason I hate to recommend KOLD at these levels is you had the buy-in here at 12 in November. You had another buy-in here at 17. That 12 you could have gotten up to, pretty much 100% gain at 22. Close to 100%, 80% if not. Gotten out and got back in at 17. Again, double your money. Here at 17, you've doubled your money. So I'm less likely to recommend Boyle or KOLD, and the reason being only because of that run. And I say that in that you have to pick your spots. And natural gas, as we're heading into the summer, probably picked our spot. Doesn't mean that it won't. Look at if we just look at the weekly, you're outside that channel. Remember, I drew that channel with the 3 lines across the top. And so down here, I said, hey, you're in the middle of the channel here at 15. It probably could move up here. You're outside this channel. And it doesn't mean that you won't, the channel couldn't be moved up. And I think you'd still get 2, if not 3, if you just moved it up. But when we looked at it, I'm a little bit hesitant to do that. Just look at the volume. The volume is what drives a lot of this stuff too. And look at the volume tailing off. And this is a weekly chart, so it's not something that looks like crazy. But I'm less likely to recommend KOLD. If you look at UCO, we've had We haven't had a huge run on this one. I mean, 28 to 30. It went all the way up here to 32. It's not crazy run, but then you look at the opposite. I mean, you see some weakness in that button hook. So SCO, could oil be breaking down here? 23.40. You had a cross up here. Morning, groundskeeper. That's an interesting one. I may put it, trade in my Webull account with SCO today. Let's see where we're at right now. We are at, because I think oil's going up today, 23.38. And this is 23.40. That's an interesting one. Yeah, I like that one for today. Okay, let's get back to scans. Daily stock pick scanner. That's the only one in our energy that crossed up. Let's look at our levered ETFs. SRTY, and this is up 2% in pre-market already. This is Ultra Pro Short Russell 2000. Let's go to the strategy. Let me put it on the list first. SRTY. This is interesting. I should save all this freaking stuff for the podcast, but let's go to the strategy tester and we'll run the strategy tester on this one. 43.81. Boy, that's a nice chart. Morning, William Malakusuki. Did I say it right? Please tell me I said Malakusuki. Please tell me I said it right. As Key and Peele say, Jay Quellen, Aaron, did I say it right? B. Locky, where's B. Locky? I think that's what I'm like. I'm like the substitute teacher. This is interesting because so here the algorithm loses you 38%. Remember, this is an ultra pro short, so it's a decaying asset, so you're going to lose money. It loses you 38%. Buying and holding loses you 35% on this. Your average win is 9%. But when you take a look at the recent, look at the run up the last time it was at 43. It went from 43 up to 72. Morning, Mike. William, don't make me go all Sopranos on you. I'm like I talk like Tony Soprano sometimes, but I am not tough in the least. But look at that. You're putting in double bottom right here? Dude, how's this one? This one's great. Ooh, I like this one a lot. General Jim Cramer's on the air again. I like this one a lot. Let's look at low cost Vanguard. That one might get a good, 15, 20% of my portfolio. VIG, this is dividend appreciation. This one, we'll put it in. Anything on our watch list, I'm putting on even if I don't think that it's a great one, I'm putting it on the list. Just so you guys know, this is insider YouTube information. By the way, if I haven't said it, hit that like button. I did not hit the like button, but hit that like button. VIG. Speaking of Sopranos, what's the VIG? Everybody know in sports betting what VIG is? The VIG is what you pay your bookie. I'm proving that I'm from Jersey. The VIG is what you pay your bookie. So say you bet $75. Typically, it's like, $25 is going to your bookie. It's a $50 bet, so you pay $75. That was before internet betting, mind you. I now have internet betting that I don't go through a bookie because I used to go through bookies. No spider sectors. Let's take a look at some of the sectors. XLC. Look at that run. I don't want that run. XLP. Morning, Sherry. Oh, Sherry. Sherry, you needed to go Key and Peele on that one. Do I look disturbed? Do I look upset? You know what, Sherry? Civic duty, man. Nothing more annoying, but in this country, it's a super privilege. So, XLF? Why would I buy XLF? Look at XLF. Look at XLE. If you want a short, I think XLE is going to be, coming back down to the 200-day. XLV, that's already starting to get down to the 200-day. This was super, super hot sector when we're going into a recession. XLI, industrials are way up there. You got some gaps. This is the material sector. You got an ascending triangle wedge. Real estate here. Look at the real estate. You want to talk about DRN and DRV? Look at that one. XLK. Boom, 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 boom. This is technology. Look at how strong technology's been. Look at XLU. This is the utility sector. We're going to go over for Jordy. Constellation Brands. I thought it was Constellation Energy, but it's Constellation Brands. XLU. This is XLY. This is the consumer discretionary. It's just coming back to the 200-day. But yeah, if you have TrendSpider, you can do all this yourself. This is nice and easy to do in TrendSpider. We're going to go to my personal watch list. Core investments. Christian, you don't want to do that. You don't want to tell them things like that. You want to act in a way where somebody's going to think that you're crazy. Chewy's an interesting one. I have a friend that got out of Chewy. Activision Blizzard is... That's a cross-up. Is it time to invest in Activision Blizzard while they're getting into Sedge? Too expensive. Do not buy Sedge. Ignore that one, even though it's probably going to 400 now. PDD. It's a secondary cross-up. China stock. You know what I have to do? I have to add BABA back into my list because we're almost at the 30th of the month. So I have to put this into my not owned list. There we go. PDD. Okay, let's go down to the ARC holdings. There should be a bunch here. VOE. There's only two. VOE, which is the Vanguard Mid Cap ETF. How is this one in the ARC funds? She's expecting mid caps to grow, I guess, this year. I'm at, hold on, let's see. Webull, I am at, I will tell you right now. I was at 1,200. I'm at 1,150 right now. Majority of it is in cash. I have traded around. I own a lot of Apple. I own SQQQ, which I'm down 8% on. I own Kraft Heinz, which I am, let me see. I am down Kraft Heinz 1% on. Procter & Gamble, I'm up 5% on that one. and Gap, I'm down 1% on. No, sorry, Gap, I'm down 10% on. But Gap, those I added to Procter & Gamble. I added to Apple, and some of those are free stocks. But I'm at 1148, and I remember I started with $1,000. So I got given some stocks, but I started with $1,000. I count the given stocks as, hey, I didn't start with those because I put $1,000 in. So I'm at 1148. I'm going to trade more in there. Probably January, just for me, wasn't a good time to trade in there. And remember, it's $1,000, so I can't do the short squeezes. The short squeezes I'm going to do, and I have done the short squeezes in there. Like I did Bed Bath & Beyond, I did Mara, but I don't like trading in there, so I think I'm going to use it. Like, for instance, SCO. I don't think that I'm going to get into SEO because in that account, I'm going to get into it here. SRTY, that's an interesting one in that, this one I could probably hold for 7 to 10 days. Even at 43, if it goes down to 40, I mean, it's going to pull up to this 200-day. So, remember, it's a short of the Russell 2000. So, if for some reason next week, morning, Larry, I have to do that Impractical Jokers reference for everybody that knows. But if for some reason the Fed comes out next week and goes, you know what? We're going to halt. We're going to halt and see what happens. Now, hoo-fa. We're screwed. Today you should be down significantly, but it's probably just a healthy down. Okay, so I have to go back and do but here's SPY. I mean, look at SPY, 383, and you're up, what, almost 10% in the month of January? Let's see if FinViz gives us. They give us performance in the last week, performance in the last month, you're up 3%. Performance this quarter, you're up 6.92%. So, yeah, it's a bit of a tough sludge. But we have VOE. Should I add VOE in? It's a secondary cross-up. This is what I was going to do. I was going to look at the strategy tester. Let's see. It's a secondary cross-up at 135. I don't like secondary cross-ups above the 200-day. Nope. I'm not going to add it in. Morning, Justin. Hit that thumbs up button, fellas and ladies. Okay, not the ARC holdings. Let's move down to Dow 30. Cisco at 47. That's high, though. Boy, it bounced off that 200-day at about 45. Good company. Good company, except, I mean, the PE is 17, so it's average, but you have a 3% dividend. 0.36% this year. It's down 15% in the last year. I mean, they've turned it around. You know what? It's a Dow 30. I got to bring it in. Bring it in, fellas. Bring it in. Okay, let's go to the NASDAQ 100. This should have a bunch. I think it's going to have 3 or 4 at least. Yeah. PDD, we talked about. That's a secondary one. Cisco, we talked about. CTAS, Cintas. This is a uniforms company. Ooh, that's covering a gap. But it's got that MACD cross up. I don't like it. And ATVI, I'm going to put it in there. Why not? People can make their, if you're already in Activision Blizzard at a higher price, I think you probably could start buying a little bit more to dollar cost average. If you're a gamer and you believe it. Now, Keurig Dr. Pepper is an interesting one because see how it's below the 200-day right there and it's crossing up? You look at Coke. That one is right on its 200-day. Look at Pepsi. And this one is right on it, below its 200-day as well. Pepsi hasn't crossed up yet, but it probably will. See, it's still got a little bit. Right before its earnings. Boy, that's interesting. But Keurig Dr. Pepper, I'm going to bring it in. Because you know what? If somebody drinks Dr. Pepper, they might be thankful for that one. AVGO, you're at the top of this ascending wedge. Earnings coming up here March 2nd. You just passed your ex-dividend date. I like it, though. I mean, it's a great stock to have. I probably should add this one to the core portfolio. Is it? Let me see. No, it's not. It's not in my core portfolio. I probably should, though. I mean, here's... it was better when it was down at below 500. Now that it's at 585. Here in October, it was really good. I mean, you were trading at 423. You're almost at 600 now. PE's 22. It's a little bit expensive, but the dividend's 3%. I mean, you're up 4.6%. Performance for 1 year is up 9% for a chip. It's a well-run company. Okay, let's go to the S&P 100. Then we'll go to the energy sector, which I don't expect a lot of cross-ups. You're getting hurt by the energy sector right now. AIG. That's a... Wow, look at that run. A reinsurance company. This is insurance. Bank of America, AVGO, Oracle, a pod favorite since the 60s. Try to bring it up. That's just a secondary cross-up, and that's it. Just a crazy run. I am not a Dr. Pepper fan. I am a cola fan. Thus, I own Coke and Pepsi. RTY Raytheon. This is one that just got... This is one that candled from yesterday. It's a 10% candle from 94 to 108. But they've already had earnings. There's nothing exciting about that one. Under 100, you could play it to 105, 106, but PFE, we talked about. Cisco, we talked about. Okay, let's go to the energy sector. I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of things to talk to you people about. Microsoft is down at 234, by the way. Telluride. Senior notes due. I don't even know what this is. What's Tells? 8% notes. There's nothing in there. I don't even know what this is. Scanning energy. We're not going to look at that. Okay, let's go back to the strategy tester. This is what's interesting now here. I mean, we're going to... SQQQ is your play today, obviously. I said when Microsoft was up about 10 points, about 4 or 5%, Morning Dawson, I said to my friend Ada, who works at Microsoft yesterday, she texted me, she goes, Buffy's rich again. I texted her, I said, wait until that phone call starts. I said, there's just not enough Azure positivity here. Sasha is already talking about the next 2 years are going to be tough. And sure enough, the call starts and boom. Let's go over to Active Trader Pro. SEO's coming down. SEO on positive stuff. Let's go to Microsoft. We're going to go to Microsoft. You'll see in the after hours. It was up here at 254, 255, and then it's just lost it. 5:30 yesterday was when the call started. You can see at 6:11 when he started talking. Yeah, we're going to have a tough 2 years. Boom. Did I sell Microsoft? No. Am I thinking of buying more Microsoft? Yes. I think anything in the 220s is an unbelievable buy for Microsoft. I think anything in the 230s is a good buy for Microsoft. Doesn't mean that it won't go under 200 because, again, if we go into some type of recession, some type of slowdown, some type of crazy stuff, here if we go and we look at Microsoft in here, it's still expensive. You're only expected to grow. Earnings per share this year were 19%. Earnings per share for the next year expected 16%, and then 5 years 12%. So past 5 years 24%, but you're expected to slow down. And 26 on a PE is expensive to pay for a slowing business. Now the assumption is they're going to get their act together and move down, but you can see downgrades. Moved it down from 267 to 265. Dude, you're a joke. Neutral sell, 212. Guggenheim put a 212 target on it. That's going to put some pressure on it. It was 100% the outlook that brought it down yesterday. You put that against Boeing. Take a look at Boeing. Boeing today, earnings were good. Let me see my notes. Let's see. Missed earnings. Not bad earnings, just missed them. Revenues lighter. Earnings per share missed. But the free cash flow is up and their guidance is good. But look at this run. From 129 up to its earnings here. It's pulling back. It's at about 205, 206 right now. Shit, this should go in our core portfolio. I'm putting this in our core portfolio. Yes, I'm putting that in there. It's down 2.37%. If you can get this under 200, I think you're okay. Because, again, you've got some maintenance issues. You've got some pretty good pushes there. And I'm going to start the podcast now because I got a 1 o'clock appointment with TrendSpider today. Texas Instruments. Let me look up Texas Instruments. TXN. This was a good report. And they are in an upward trend here. Let's see. I should put all of these. Is this going to make it? It's going to make it 2. I think I took those out just because. I didn't want to say double top, double bottom. I didn't want. We're just going to have the ascending triangle. Because it puts too much in there. I think, hold on. Pardon. I don't think he said 25% overvalued. There's a ton of articles, but I don't think they said that. I think somebody came out and said they're overvalued, but I don't think Microsoft came out and said that they're overvalued. F you, Barons. it took everything down. Intelligent cloud sales growth slowing to 17% from 19%. Yeah, this is the key. Genuine strength in the cloud in the final 3 months of the year at Microsoft just wasn't enough to dominate the narrative. Revenue in Intelligent Cloud, which includes Azure, came in at $21.5 billion towards the end of the company's own guidance, with Azure sales surging 38% on annual constant currency basis. So the strong dollar is going to the weaker dollar is going to help them, whereas last year it was hurting them. Sees Intelligent Cloud sales growth going 17% down from 19% in constant currencies in the March quarter, which is why Wall Street consensus of 22.2. It just came down. I mean, I don't think it's 25%, but they're a little bit up. Now, Texas Instruments, this may be setting up for another bull run in the chips, which would be SOXL. Let me put that. So XL, which you've, 40% so far, and you still have confirmation here. I mean, this is just, you want to talk about a great run. Look at this run. And, I mean, that even the volume shelf, and the volume shelf you're building here at 11, if you get back to 11, I don't know that you get back down below 10. You get to 11 and you're right at the 200-day. I think you're using that 200-day as support level at this point. I wouldn't say buy into it now, but I think you're good here. Let me start my podcast. Before I do that, let's check up on our GNS at 438. PLRX, which is the Plant Therapeutics, 3290, right where it's closed at. hlbz, which is a hell of a business, is just shrinking down, 36 cents from 41 cents. Faraday, FFIE, you're at 95 cents, up 1 cent. It'll be interesting to see if this one pumps with the volume that it's had. So far, your 10-day volume is at 66 million. Today's volume in pre-market is only 1.5 million. So it does seem like it might be slowing down, because I think we were almost at 12 million yesterday at about this time. But it was running, if you look at hold on, I'm going to show you the chart. If you look at the chart yesterday, I think we were close to pumping up, and the reason it was 12 million was it was getting ready to go. We got to 112 yesterday. Yesterday it went up to 113. And let's look at Bed Bath & Beyond. And then 347. So it's gone up a little bit, 10 cents. The one that is interesting, and I think Brittany Bitch always brings this one up, is WISA. I was watching, Morning James, I was Clay Trader, which is another trader on YouTube. I think he's got courses and stuff like that. He brought up 10 stocks, and WISA is one of them. GNS is another. He thinks TQQQ is rising today, but that was right before the Microsoft earnings call. So I think SQQQQ is the one. I'm sitting on SQQQ, I think at 46. So, but WISA is the one that he thinks could pump, and it looks like it. I mean, this is a 1-minute chart. Let's move to 5 minutes. 5 minutes are usually better for me to. It's got confirmation up there. It's got good confirmation at 15. Yesterday it went from 16 to 22 cents. It's a 60% move. So 10-day volume is 89. So in comparison, Faraday had 1.3 million. This one has 6.7 million in pre-market shares, traded hands. 17% short. Let's see, 10 information system stocks. WISA, stock declined by 9.1 cents. Company's market cap stands at 10.6 million. And make no mistake, this one's going bankrupt. INPX. Look at INPX. Is this one getting squeezed up? You closed at 156. You're trading at 199. Got squeezed up all the way up to 255. Wow. Likes need to go up. We're going to start the podcast now. I'm going to start recording just so I think there's probably some new folks. Remember, subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button. I got a whole bunch of new subscribers last night. Hit the subscribe button. The other thing is hit the like button. And just so you know, kind of now, I start my podcast. I start reporting the podcast that you can listen to. The way this works, and I need to do a video about this, but the way this works is if you're listening on YouTube, don't listen to the podcast. You don't have to at all. But for those people that want to listen in the car, for those people that might not watch the whole thing on YouTube and may want to tune in for the rest of it, just realize that, look at the timestamp. Typically, the timestamp on the podcast, you can go and look at the charts. For YouTube, you have a transcript below. So if you're listening in the car and there's a stock that you want to look at, just go to YouTube and look at the transcript and go to that point in the transcript. You can basically just go to that exact point in the transcript. It transcribes my words into a transcript. So it's, I try and do my best to tell the stock that I'm looking at and the chart that I'm looking at. But yeah. One last look at GNS. I am not holding GNS. I got in and out of GNS. I am just expecting GNS. I mean, when you look at that $3.92 to $5.50 yesterday, that's the kind of volume we're looking for. 77 million shares in a 10-day average volume. You're up at almost at 3 million shares. You're going to get to 3 million shares before we open. And this only has 10 million share float. So you're trading 77 million shares on average a day. The volume is coming down. I don't expect it to kind of pop. But if it does pop like it did yesterday, like this, you're going to 550. God, you effers. Me doing the damn podcast is costing me money because I could be trading this. But I have a 1 o'clock meeting with TrendSpider. If you want, hit me up and you're subscribed to TrendSpider. This is TrendSpider. I have an algorithm built in here, and that's why you're seeing the entries on this one and exits. If you want access to the algorithm, just subscribe to TrendSpider in the link below. I'll give you access to my algorithm. I'll give you access to my watch lists. I'll give you access to everything that I do. I've set up several different watch lists, including core portfolio, which I have. You should buy and hold in those names. Energy names that we trade on a regular basis. Levered ETFs, triple, double, whatever. Both sides, bull and bear. Low-cost Vanguard ETFs. These are ones, if you just want 50% of your portfolio to sit in there and forget about it, which I do suggest, a large portion of your portfolio is just buy it and forget it. Vanguard ETFs are a great spot to have. And then spider sectors. And I'll probably come up with more of them. What's this daily stock pick scanner? Oh, that's just recent. Oh, look at this. Daily bullish engulfing Dow. Jake's oscillator. Boy, TrendSpider has so many damn things in it. I find stuff that just, you can find these scanners and these lists where it goes and does the scan for you. Pattern Profits SMA 10 pullback. Let's see if anything comes up here. No, I think I got a scan for those. Let's see. Any triangle breakup in the S&P. Let's see if something pops up here. Scanning, 0 charts found. Oh, I don't want to sit here and wait for this. Sometimes with these triangle breakups and scans, it's going to scan the entire freaking S&P 500. Okay. AVB. Oh, look at that. Looky. Wow. Avalon Bay Communities. Tell me you haven't, you've heard of Avalon Bay Communities. Again, this is in TrendSpider. Let's run our algorithm on this one. I don't want all these chart patterns. Apply. That's what it's going to do is any triangle breakup, it's going to put 161, you're at 173. GOOG and GOOGL. We buy GOOG because that's what Google buys back. GOOGL has voting rights, but with Sergey and Bryn, you will never get, Sergey and Larry, I should say, you will never get voting rights. Don't like those charts. They've run up too much. But I would say anything under 100 for Google, you're freaking, golden. Well Tower. Ooh. Never heard of that one. WST. This. WY. Boy, you've got a lot in this list. Oh, you know what just came up is Intuit. Costco came up. Intuit, I've said under 200 day, you should buy it. Adobe came up. Costco at 489. We might get back to this gap here in Costco, but let's see, CHRD. We have that in our energy scanner. Let's say we're going to go to our energy names, and CHRD is only up 0.02, I see. I don't see it up 3%. I see it trading at 142. Let me see. Is there something in the ask? That's what it is. Remember, this is a small cap. And so you're only trading 300,000 shares of volume a day. And you may see that 3% up just because the ask is at 150, but the bid is at 143. It's moving downward. It's not something wrong. It's just, for instance here, this is the day yesterday. Look at this. See that little shaded area right there in the middle? That's a light gray. That's your pre-market volume. So far in the pre-market, you've only traded 108 shares. And so your ask, essentially what happens is as you get closer to 9:30, your bid and your ask come closer. I think you're basically going to open up probably at 143. Yesterday's range was only 142 to 147. It's a great energy stock. Here, we'll go over here, CHRD. And, I mean, I'll blow your freaking mind. 3.5% dividend, but they have constant special dividends. January 25th, Bank of America Securities, 178. You're trading at 142. They have a 178 target on this one. Mizuho, 196, and that was January 10th. Those are both this year, January, 196 and 178. Not a bad, place to be. Your PE is 4. You're up year to date only 4%, so it's not too late to get in. 1 year, you're up 36%. Consider that up 30%, 36% in a SPY. You're down 8%, so you're outperforming on CHRD. I think you're good. I agree with Tom. That's a good stock to be in. We will go back to core investments. I don't have that one in core investments. Shopify is up 5%. We'll bring up Shop. Because I've said buy Shopify all day long. Okay, I'm recording the podcast now. I know I always say that. We're about to open. Good morning. It is Wednesday, January 25th, and I've been going on way too freaking long on YouTube Live. But there's a lot to go over. First thing is Microsoft earnings. So Microsoft, essentially with their earnings popped. They popped up to about 250, 251, somewhere in that neighborhood. I think it went up to 255 in some places, but it was after hours. Their earnings were good. Let me look at my notes real quick to see if I have anything. I just have Microsoft earnings. Essentially what happened was earnings were right in line. They weren't horrible, but they actually said, hey, it's going to be a tough 2 years. And that's that, they've kind of said this. And when the call started and they asked about Azure, they asked about some of the cloud stuff, things just got worse. And so it opened up down. Here's my thing for you. This is a stock you want to just buy and hold. I've held this one since 2002. I think from 2002 until 2010, I didn't make a dime, but it was sitting in my portfolio. I got a decent dividend off it. Yes, the money wasn't working as well as it should be, but since then, it's just been a monster. Because take a look at this. If we just look at a monthly of Microsoft, you're back at the 50-day. You're just back at the 50-day. The last time it touched the 50-day was 2012. So it's been a monster. You're back to where you were in 2021, November 2020. You're back at 204. 228 was its high in November 2020. But you can see on this one, you just buy and hold it. I mean, again, if I had bought this, like I told you, I bought this around 2000 or so. It took me until 2013 to really become whole in those shares. But I added to it because with each dividend, I reinvested my stock shares, and that was at 25. Today, it's 10 times what that is. And this is a well-run company that you want to basically own and just buy. They're doing cloud. They've got Xbox. All you Windows people that have a Dell computer or a Lenovo computer, your employer is paying a license fee for Windows. Whether you have the Microsoft Office suite, whether you use Teams, you're paying for all that stuff. Now, the key point is they have to grow because their multiple is super high. If they're only expected to grow at an average of 5, 6, 10%, that PE of 26 is too freaking high. Performance for 1 year is down 18%. Performance year to date is up 0.93%. They're going to go down. They haven't kept up. But in my mind, it is a name that you want to absolutely 100% keep in your portfolio. We haven't had a super run up on it. It was at 231. I would expect today that you probably hit that 231. It's going to hover around this 200 day. So if you buy today at 233, at some point, you're probably getting up to 240. Are you going up to this 280 level? Probably not. I mean, there would have to be a huge turnaround for you to get to this 280 point. So I'm not pushing you to necessarily buy this, but if you own it, I don't think you necessarily sell it. If you own it in the 100 mark, maybe you trim some. I think I did sell some back in December with some of my tax loss harvesting that I did. I'm not tied to this one like I am Apple. But this is what brought down the NASDAQ. This is what brought down everything. It initially was up. It's just down. And Jim Cramer is spouting off about it now. It's a well-run company. It's just a well-run company. Texas Instruments is the next one. This was the kickoff for some of the semiconductor chips. It was a good quarter, not a great quarter. It was decent enough to justify kind of hanging around there at the 174 price frame. It opened at 177. It's down 3 points, 174. I think you could probably get this closer to the 200-day at 167, down at 170. It is an ascending triangle here. I think at the bottom of this is 171. If it hits 171 and you're likely to buy into some type of chip, this is a cheap chip. Texas Instruments, the symbol is TXN. Its PE is 18, forward PE is 22. It has a 2.8% dividend. You know what I'd rather see you in is Qualcomm. This one has just had a crazy good run of late. It will come back down today. 107.97 was where our algorithm got you in. Right now, it's trading at 128. Their earnings are coming up next week, February 2nd. This one, like Texas Instruments, has a 2.8% dividend. This one has a 2.3. Its PE is a little higher, but these guys have far more chips that are being made and far more technology than Texas Instruments. And you can see in Qualcomm that 200-day is kind of turning positive. The 50-day hasn't crossed the 200 with a golden cross, but you can see back here that doesn't always mean that it's going crazy. This went from 140 back here on August 1st up to 151 before it just crossed back down. And I would expect that to be kind of what's going on here. Just because you've had such a run, I think it'll come back down. But Texas Instruments, they're kind of their earnings came out. Intuitive Surgical, which I don't kind of cover on here. ISRG is the symbol, ISRG. This one came out, and this is interesting because it's falling quite severely. It's at $240. The 200-day is at $237. I think it's going to cross under the 200-day, but I think you're okay buying it after that. What their basic means for missing earnings was they said COVID is hurting them in China. Well, you know what? That's temporary. Essentially, they said, hey, in China, there's not elective surgery going on. So our earnings are getting hurt. Well, that's temporary. It's a good company. I think this one is a decent one. The algorithm here makes you 22% versus buying and holding over 1,000 candles only makes you 0.87%. Your average win is 10%. It just got you in with a 257. You're down at 240. That 257 is right before earnings. You're trading at $240. Doesn't mean that this one's going to win because it is high up there, but you've got a gap below here at 237. I think if you can get 237, you're good. This one above the 200-day at 220. If you see it cross the 200-day, this one comes into play. Even this one here at 216 comes into play. So make sure you're buying this one on a on kind of the validation per se on a shorter term time frame. If you want to get into this one, I just saw this one and I said, hey, it's an overreaction just because it's a temporary thing. There was top 10 stocks from Clay Trader that I posted on our private Facebook group. And if you're not part of that group, just click the link down below for the link tree. And the Facebook icon is right below my picture. And you can join the private Facebook group. Just answer who hosts this podcast and boom, you're in. But the top 10 stocks I posted in there, there were a couple of interesting ones, including our favorite shorts, which is GNS, which is WISA, WISA, which is hlbz, hlbz. There was the one that I really wanted to focus on that he said was that he wanted is Tesla. Tesla's announcing earnings today after the bell. The assumption is they did announce that they're expanding their Nevada plant significantly. The question is going to be, is there a buyback? If there's a buyback that's announced, this is immediately a $150 stock. You know, you're trading at 142. You've had a run up here from 119 up to 142. The price cuts that he did are unbelievable. The just management kind of 101 that he's done. Hey, we're heading into a recession. We've upped our production. We can make more cars. Let's cut into our margins, but sell more cars here. And that's essentially what he did. And he doesn't want to get into a recession where all of his production is at peak and then he can't sell the cars. So he cut the prices. A little bit early in the product life cycle for that. You don't buy a Tesla for the luxury, you buy it for the tech. So my assumption is that the tech is probably something that he's going to enhance. The second he announces that he found a CEO for Twitter, this thing pops 10% on that day. But their earnings are coming up. And again, if you want to look at the top 10 stocks that Clay had mentioned, just go on the Facebook group. So Constellation Brands, Jordy. I am listening to my my dog snore. It's so cute. She's been sick, so I'm happy that she's secure enough in her womanhood to snore loud enough that I can hear it. But Jordy from Instagram, he has, could you have a look at Constellation Brands? It has a recent MACD cross up, and the dividend and earnings are coming up as a catalyst in February. And he's right. Constellation Brands, so you know, is probably a really good play in the pot world. And my assumption is that's why you got this pop back in here in October, because the Biden, that was around the time when the Biden administration said, hey, we're going to let a lot of these pot guys off the hook and we're going to look at legalizing pot. These guys have a huge, huge interest in the pot world as far as beverages go. You do have a MACD cross up. January 11th, you had a buy in the algorithm at $220. $220. You've got this gap up here that goes up to $230. You're trading at $225 right now. I don't think it's too early to get in. The question is going to be this dividend X date on February 7th. Let's see what their dividend is. I think it's a good dividend, 1.41. The problem that you have is the PE is super, super high. They're taking some write-downs. I think there were some issues. January 6th, Cowen, they downgraded them to a market perform with a $200 price target. That's the problem that you have is the bear of the day, Constellation, Zacks. You can look at some of these things. I don't know that you'd necessarily think that this is all of a sudden going to go up for earnings. Their earnings are coming up. I think it's in March at some point. So the dividend next date is enough to push it up. I would read those articles, Jordy. 1 year you're down. Year to date, you're down 1.83. Performance for 1 year is 5.61. Performance for 1 year is absolutely beating the SPY. But your performance for 1 year in January, we've been up. So to have it down 1.83, that kind of worries me. Let's see what the insiders are doing. There's a lot of sales here, Jordy. A lot of sales in November at the 250 level. You're looking at 3 million shares. WinStar, WildStar Partners, a 10% owner, sold $884 million worth of shares. Robert Sands, chairman of the board, $884 million of shares. You're looking at Richard Sands, who sold $884 million. I mean, that's the max that they could sell probably. And they're selling out. Take a look at it. I don't know that I'd necessarily get into this one. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is a Jim Cramer favorite. So be wary. Remember, rule number one is never listen to a guy on the internet about stocks to buy. Rule number two is never listen to Jim Cramer. And rule number three, I keep forgetting, and I think I just make up rule number three all the time. But Constellation Brands, I'd be a little bit scared of that one. Boeing, this is an interesting one. Boeing has... You've almost made 100% gain in Boeing if you bought in October. 129 October 3rd. Our algorithm got you in at 129. Boeing's earnings today were mixed. Mixed at best, missed at worst. So the revenue's lighter, earnings per share lighter, but their cash flow is up and their guidance was up. If it's down today, let me just see real quick. I'm going to put it into Active Trader Pro. I won't switch the video over because I always forget to switch it back. But Boeing is down 0.15. It's on its way up. Honestly, it's outside the Bollinger Bands on a 5-minute chart. It was down at 206. Now it's on its way up. The market loves what they see. 211 is where it's trading. I think if you can get this anywhere between 200 and 210, I think you're doing really well. I've got this in our core portfolio. I just added it today. I don't think you're going to see it under 200 again. That's just my guess. The business is just too strong. If you have some type of F up, where Boeing again screws up with their public relations, with a crash, with something that goes on, you'll see this one tank down heavily. The 200 days at 166. There's a clear volume shelf here at 190. I think if you buy here under 210, I think you're good because there's a volume shelf right here at 206. Now, if you break 206, I think you've got a pretty good shelf here at 200. But getting this under 200 again, I think we're just asking too much. So I think at 200, remember, if we look at a long-term stock of this and we look at a weekly stock, you're just hitting the 200-day right here. 200 days at 230. So I don't think it's out of the question to think that we're going to go above the 200-day again. This was COVID, and you haven't hit on a weekly, you haven't hit the 200-day other than it looks like March 15th. You went of 2021, so 2 years ago almost. You went up. But then you still saw problems and you saw tons of buying this at 120 or 100. Even during COVID times, if you have it at 120 or 130, you did great. I mean, again, you held on to it, but you didn't buy it up here at 400 where Jim Cramer said it was a great buy. Once they bring the dividend back, the cash flow is the big thing. When they have cash flow and they announce the dividend back, that's when you can kind of look at it and say, you know what, that's a $300 stock. So again, buying it, I think anywhere between 200 and 210 is probably a good buy. Closer to 200 is better. But don't wait too long on this one because while it's had this run, I think it's not likely that it's pulling back below 200. If it does, it's not far. I mean, on the weekly, the 190 is kind of a shelf right there. So, I mean, can you see a head and shoulders pattern here? Head, shoulder, you kind of into the shoulder here, pulling out a little bit. Jackie on our private Facebook group brought up new holdings, NU. And I don't know anything about this. I think I've covered it. She says she hasn't listened in a couple of days, and shame on you, Jackie. There's a bank. It's a Brazilian bank. And she's noticed that, it trades pretty regularly between 5 and 3, and it's closer to 3 right now, 395. The 52-week range is 326 to 1183. It's not making money, doesn't have a dividend, down for the year, 46%. December 8th, JP Morgan, upgrade with no price target. 5 Warren Buffett stocks that could skyrocket. Buffett owns this one. And this is the article that she posted in the private Facebook group. Buffett owns this one. And I got to continue reading. God, I was saying this before. I think Verizon owns Yahoo, and they just enacted this thing where they just link out and they get double the damn ad prices. New holdings, NU. And what they say about this one, Berkshire Hathaway took an equity position in New Holdings before it went public in December 2021. New isn't a classic Buffett stock since it has been unprofitable and trades at a high valuation. Absolutely. You can look at that forward PE at 51. It has massive following, more than 70 million accounts. Brazil's in that, my political podcast with Rick, we're supposed to interview a Brazilian reporter about what's going on down there. I think if you can get this under 4, I think you go to 5. And what's that, 20%? It's a, pretty good move. You have these gap up here at 450 to 470, but it doesn't, if you look at just, if we touch 2 points, 2 bottoms kind of thing. Okay, it's not quite a bottom, but then we touch 2 tops. Or 3 tops. Yeah, we're touching 3 tops there. I mean, you're all the way up at 530. So you're in this bottom range right here. Now, that's not scientific. That's not probably a great look at it. If we look at a long term of this one and we look at a weekly, let's look at a weekly. It only went public in 2021, December 2021, so you don't even have a 200-day on the weekly. But you can see it's just sliding. There's your 50-day creating. You're on the bottom side, but you're starting to get on the upside. I don't think it's a bad thing. And again, Buffett invested it. Now, mind you, Buffett goes bankrupt on some of these things too, so he's not always the tell. But his most recent American one is Taiwan Semiconductor. And he invested in Taiwan Semiconductor. You can see this one has just had a crazy run. 74 was the buy-in. This was about when it was announced that he got in. And you're up at 92. I mean, that's a crazy, crazy, crazy good run. So Buffett's good. New. I'd probably take a little money. I might put some money in there. AT&T announced their earnings, and the earnings were good. And this one in the market, let's see. Let's look at AT&T. AT&T right now is trading at up 6% at 20. So it has skyrocketed. That's a big move for a stock. This got caught up. You can see this candle. It got caught up in the trading yesterday morning. This one had you in at 18.25. It got you out. It probably would get you in at 20 again today on this MACD cross up, because it's clear the MACD is crossing up right there. And so my algorithm's going to print some type of dollar amount today. I think if you can get this under 20, you're good, because I don't think 22 is out of the realm of possibility in this. If you look at a long-term chart of this, it's not a stock that you probably want to get into. But if you look at that 22 range, you're coming right up here to the 200-day. And that 200-day has been resistance. But when you're trading at 20 and you get to 22, and it's not a stock that you're going to go down to 15 again. I just don't think that you're getting down to 15. I think they've turned some things around. Management has the right path, I think, just with Verizon. I mean, if we look at Verizon, which is the competitor, they had good earnings as well. They got caught up in it as well yesterday. Verizon at 37, I said, hey, get into this one. It went all the way up to 32. You just got out with a 6% gain, but I told you to get out during the button hook. You probably have another cross up here at 40, and I think you've got probably 44. You're probably looking at this gap at 44.60 to 45 being covered in this one. So if you can get in at AT&T under 20, Verizon under 40, I think you're good, because look at these dividends. 5.79 on AT&T. Verizon, not VA, I want VZ. Verizon is 6.46. Either one. I mean, do you mind holding on to them? No, because you're getting a dividend. It's better than a bond, paying at 4%. So there was one. This is not part of, but I think it was Jesse asked me to look at Hershey a year ago, and I had an alert in TrendSpider. It came up at 220. It looks pretty good at 220. You have a volume gap up here at 224. You could go up to 227. I don't know that you're looking at the 240s again to try and get 10% out of this one. But if you like Hershey candy, buy Hershey. Shopify is up 5% today. It's actually up 7% at 45. I couldn't find any news on this one, but the algorithm has you buy in at 34, and you're at 40, almost 46, which is a $12 gain on a $34 buy. Huge, huge gain in a company that probably could easily go to 70. So I like Shopify. I personally own Shopify at a significantly higher price. I think it's probably around 70 because it did that huge reverse split. So Shopify is one. Let's get into our scans. These are the stocks that if you wanted to buy short term, if you wanted to buy long term, I will go over them in order here, and I'll individually tell you there's about 6 or 7 of them. Bank of America. We had this buy down here at 31. You had a nice 5% gain. But that buy at 31, the high was 35. So you made 11%, and then you could have gotten out, bought back in here at 34. Could have gotten out at 35, buy back in here at 34. You are using this 200-day, it's clear, as kind of a bounce level. So I think you could get up to this 37 range. I don't know that you go much above 37, but at 34, again, it's a Buffett buy. This is in our core portfolio. Enter a position. It's right there at the 200-day. Another one that's in our core position is Pfizer. And this one is getting hurt because the governments of the world are not buying the COVID vaccine anymore, but this is way more than a COVID vaccine story. You've got a gap up here between 46 and 47. It is well below its 9-day. Its 50-day is moving down. You could have a death cross. This could be moving under the 200-day. But at 44.71, you do have a cross up. The RSI is at 26. This is just too low for this stock. I think it's a well-run company. I think they've got some eggs in the barrel, and I think the Chinese may announce, hey, we're going to get the virus from Pfizer, the vaccine from Pfizer. We're going to license out. And I think you'll see a pop on that one. I do. So Pfizer, I think, is a buy. Another one that's interesting is we've talked about energy a lot. And so this is a triple levered oil short. It's a short and it's triple levered. 2340 SCO. Sam Cat Optimum. SCO. 2340 is the buy. You're trading at 2346. It went down below that. You're hearing a lot about the administration trying to refill the oil reserves. They want oil to go down. If they're able to get oil down, this one will go up. And so your 200 days right about 25. You only needed to go to 25 to get your 10%. So SCO is one. Another one that is a short is SRTY. Sam, Rank, Tardy, and Y. I mean, I don't know what, yell. But 4381 is this one. It just got you out with a loss. The algorithm on this one, the algorithm performs, it loses you 38% versus buying and holding loses you 35% on this. Remember, these are decaying assets, but I like it because it's under its 200-day. The RSI is at 44, kind of just coming off the 33 level. And I think it comes up here to its 200-day, if not the 50-day. If it only comes up to the 50-day, you got a nice 10% gain. Yankee. I wasn't in the military. My dad's a veteran, but I wasn't in the military, so I don't know all that stuff. Yankee is the one. But I do think that this one could come up here to the 50-day at least. If it comes to the 200-day, you got a nice 20% gain. So SRTY, this is not one that you buy and hold. This is not an investment. This is basically a trade. VIG, and by the way, SCO is a trade. SCO is not something you buy and hold. I have to tell people that over and over again. This one, VIG, dividend appreciation, this is a buy and hold. Now, mind you, the algorithm makes you 20% on this one versus the algorithm just buying and holding makes you 11.69%. The difference is this basically pays a dividend, I think. VIG, let me see. Because it's a dividend holding, it's a 1.92% dividend. I don't know about the payouts. It's up 2% year to date. It is above the 200-day, which is at 148, but it's got this MACD cross up at 154.89. The MACD is crossing up. The RSI is at 46. It's kind of an average buy. If you want to just buy and forget it, VIG is one that you can just buy and forget. And what I do is I use this algorithm to try and get in there. So VIG is one. Another one that I think you can just buy and hold because their technology is good. Long term, it hasn't been a great stock, but it's got a decent dividend and they're kind of on the turnaround path. But at 47.81, Cisco, CSCO, it's above its 200-day. There's some gaps here below this that kind of worry me a little bit. But the algorithm loses you 15%. Buying and holding makes you 4%. So I don't think it's a bad one to buy and hold. The average win on this one is 7.9%. Right now, the RSI is kind of in no man's land at 50. The MACD is crossing up, but you do have earnings coming up on February 15th. So you do have a catalyst kind of in the future. If they're able to continue their earnings. And you can see this gap up and then just slide down here from 50 down to 40 after the earnings there. But that was just a bad time in the market. And October was the low. If you bought this at 40 and you made it all the way up to 50 right before the ex-dividend date, it's got a decent dividend, I think. I think it's 3-4% or something. 3.18. Yeah, this is just a buy and hold. I mean, if you like technology, buy and hold it. They're on the turnaround. Another one that might be, it's a gamble. And remember, Buffett got into this one at about $68, I think, maybe closer to 70. But he bought billions of dollars of this one at that range. 75.11 is where the algorithm got you in. You're trading at 74.62. Their earnings are coming out. This is Activision Blizzard. Earnings on February 6th. This is the one that Microsoft is buying for $95 a share. The Justice Department or the DOJ, I forget which one, has blocked it. And so they're going to court. Court case probably will take a couple of years. So it's one that you want to look at. The $95 might go up if they're earning money, but this is, Activision Blizzard they own Call of Duty. If you play games and you play Call of Duty, buy this one. Buy it. Just freaking buy it. So another one that came up, and we were talking about what goes well with this, is Keurig Dr. Pepper. If you do K-Cups, if you do Dr. Pepper, which is, your sugary drink, this is interesting because it's below its 200-day. The 50-day is kind of just crossing up. The 9-day is still moving a little bit. 34.98. Their earnings are coming up on February 22nd. If you watched Coke and Pepsi, and we looked at those charts right after their earnings, they've been kind of moving a little bit downward as well after their earnings. Well, their earnings are coming up later. But Coke is above the 200-day. Pepsi is just below the 200-day, I believe, when we looked at it. It's just below the 200-day. But Keurig Dr. Pepper, those two don't have cross-ups on the algorithm. Keurig Dr. Pepper does. So if you're a Dr. Pepper fan and you want to buy Keurig Dr. Pepper, it just crossed up. The buy-in in the algorithm is $34.98. Another one that seems expensive to me, and I probably should have this in the core portfolio, is Broadcom. It's just a really well-run company. You're in an ascending triangle here, which typically means you're going to go up and continue up and use it. You can clearly see that the support levels are there. Support at 561. It's trading at 579, but the algorithm has you buy in at 585. This is coming off a legendary run from October. October 436 was the buy-in. You could have sold all the way up here at 600. It got you out at about 550 with a 28% gain. The algorithm loses you 4% on this. Just know, buying and holding makes you 28%, plus you have a pretty good dividend here. AVGO, it's got a 3.15% dividend. Just know it is expensive. The PE is 22. Year to date, they're up 4%. For 1 year, they're up 9%. Remember, for 1 year, the S&P is down 8%. So you're looking at a fairly good stock to just buy and hold. If you wanted to trade it, your average win is 6.3%, but you did just make this 28%. I don't think it's coming back down to 500, which is where the 200-day is at. My guess is you'd probably split that at about 550 as the base. But if you wanted to buy into that one, I think that's a good buy as well. Okay, I am going to trade. I'm probably trading SCO, by the way, and SRTY. I like both of those to short. And it's just because I don't think anything's necessarily going wrong. I look at Boeing. I mean, Boeing rebounded after kind of getting hit with earnings. They're at 209 right now. Again, under 210. I may just buy that one in my parents' account and just kind of buy it and forget it. AT&T under 20. I think Verizon under 40. You got some really good options to buy some stocks here. And I'm going to GNS. I still think we've got some short opportunities, but I think there's some really good long opportunities where you just buy and hold. And if they go down over the next week, say for instance, Microsoft, they're getting killed on earnings today. Microsoft is down 4% at 231. anything with a 220 price point on Microsoft, in my mind, I think you just buy it and hold it. Just buy it and hold it. I think today is the day that we're going down. SQQQ is your play. Shopify is up 5%. Snowflake is down 7% at 135. I think that's at least 150 at some point in time this year. Target is at 161. I think that covers that $200 gap at some point in time this year. Tesla is down 3% at 139. At some point that's a $200 stock. We talked about UNH. 485 was the buy on UNH. Well, I think it went down to 480. Was I buying more? Nah, I probably should have. Anything under 500 on this one, I think you buy. XLY is down 2%. You're looking at some really good opportunities here, just to buy in. And don't buy in the whole load. Say you've got $1,000 to spend, today, and you have to see $1,000 of cash in your account, and you want to buy some today. $1,000 of just say Apple. You want to buy, or Amazon. Let's say Amazon's down 5% today. Their earnings are coming up next week. They're getting basically dragged down with Microsoft because the cloud business, Microsoft said the cloud business is bad. So Google, everybody's getting dragged down today. Google's down 3%. But Amazon, I think you're covering this gap here at 86. But are you upset if you buy at 91? Say you have $1,000 you want to put into Amazon. Buy $100 at 90. If it goes up to 96, you're happy. If it goes down to 89, just buy $100 more. Keep buying on the way down. If you see confirmation, we've got this good button hook here. I talk about button hooks all the time. Amazon, if you're looking at this chart, we had a buy-in here December 30th at $83. And you have this button hook. And it got up to 98. You got your 10%. You could have gotten out with your 10%. But that button hook typically means, hey, we're coming down. That gap down here is in range. 86. With their earnings, maybe they announce some kind of slowdown on cloud. But with that RSI kind of pointing downward at 45, these are the days where you want to buy, you want to add, add small positions. Add $10. Make yourself a buy. If you lose money, big deal. $10, rather than spending $10 on lunch, just buy $10 of stock. Go intermittent fasting. It's not only healthy, it'll save you money. So let me know if you have any questions. I will talk to you guys later. I should have said to rate the podcast, but oh well. Okay, let's see. What do we got you guys saying now? Viewers and likes going up. Hey, if you guys are here, just hit the thumbs up button. I think I did a pretty good podcast for you. We're going to go over to Active Trader Pro. And look at AT&T, man. Look at that freaking move. On a 5-minute chart, you got all the confirmation in the world. This is up 6% today. And this was telegraphed 6%. Hold on, he's talking about the results.
Let's start on free cash flow. It's certainly a metric that
free cash flow up.
There had been a time when you've been looking for as much as $20 billion. That was some time ago.
I had to restart Active Trader Pro.
$16 billion plus target that you set for 2000.
We're going to go over to Safari View.
Well, David, it's good to be with you. And look, we're confident. We think we've got a little resilience.
I'm going to start Active Trader Pro again. God, AT&T, man, it's not a great stock. GDXU. What is GDXU? Gold miners. You're up 32% on this one? Where the hell did you buy? It's at 61. Did you buy on the algorithm? Stefan, man, you have TrendSpider. Did you buy on the algorithm? Because if you bought on the algorithm, there's your ad for TrendSpider to everybody else in the group. Because I know I helped you set it up. This was bound to happen. I just probably pulled the trigger too early on SQQQ, but I'm still holding it. I'm going to buy SCO, I think, for oil to go down. I like that setup. And I do have to go soon because I have to shower and stuff. It's a video meeting with TrendSpider at 1 o'clock. So I got to be presentable. I can't have my hair and stuff like this. I was going to say, GDXU is gold miners. Glycominix. This is your freaking biotech stuff. Wow. Good call on this one. GDXU is one just buy. I bet you bought that one on the algorithm because that's... Look at the buy here. Oh, God, look at this. All right, you had a buy here October 25th at 64 cents. You can't tell this stuff. But this was a clear run from 81 to 220. I mean, you had total confirmation through this one. 218%. It got you out, but it got you right back in at 225. It just capitulated right here. And it got you out with a 14%, but shit, you could have gotten out here at $3.30. Got you right back in at 310. It's trading at 337. What's GLYC? Let's see. Do you have any insider information on this one? Healthcare, biotechnical. Upgrade, Jeffries, $3 to $4. Could develop into a nice trade. TheStreet.com. From loss to profit. Oh. The quaint trading system picking stocks that soar. 300%. Here. Stock market was breaking down to near above market lows. Things looked sour, yet our model was sensing positive price action on a virtually unheard of biotech glyomimetics. Around the same week that stock market was plunging to new lows, our model triggered a breakout alert on glycometrics. Since then, has soared nearly 360% in just 3 months. Yeah, Boomer here hasn't done great in my my stock picking, but Wells Fargo is one. I'm not thinking that you're going to make it rich, but you know, I put a couple $1,000s in there. It's better than cash. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing. But this GLYC is interesting. Let me move over to Active Trader Pro. Again, this one, you're up. Anything under 20 on this one. If this one goes under 20 again, I think buy it. Today, it started out at 1974. So we had our chance to buy it under 20. I think you'll have a chance to buy this one under 20. I think you could easily get 22 on this one. I see Bed Bath & Beyond down 6. GNS is down 39 cents. GLYC, I think that 310 level is nice. Look at this one. This one's coming back down to reality. Let's see, CRK. So here, let me go over to to TrendSpider for CRK. Here's the thing that you have to know about CRK. This was a stock that was trading at about $8 before all of this mess in the world. And so you can see you're out of it right now as far as the algorithm goes. But here, let's go to a weekly. Why is it this high? I mean, what's changed since 2021 at $5 to having it double now? And if you pull it back to the last time it bounced before the crazy bounce up, which was the Ukraine war, you pull back here, look where most people are holding, $9. I'm not looking at this one till it touches its 200-day here. Because you can even look back. This is a company back here in 2014 that was trading at $116 a share. And that's with no volume. And look at the volume pump here. But the volume's trending downward. It does have an ascending triangle. But throw it into the algorithm, and it looks even worse. I mean, it's on the downside of the Bollinger Band today. Their earnings are coming up. I mean, it could be a situation where, I mean, look at the downgrades. 21 to 17, 24 to 14. And they're trading at $11.99. Yeah. I'm not sold on it being I mean, it's down what? 6% today? TQQQ under 20. Under 20, almost under 20. Under 20. I'd buy TQQQ. You might have to wait a couple of months. It's not, something that's going to be there. TGTX. Let's look at TGTX. SQQQ is way up today. Let me see. Am I back up? 45. I'm still not where I bought it. I think I bought it at 46.20. It's a decaying asset. You don't want to buy and hold it. I've held it for a week now. Mara's down 10%. All the high flyers that have been flying up are getting killed today. I was a flyer yesterday. I just still think GNS, let's see the volume on GNS. Volume's not high. Take a look at that opening volume versus this opening volume. Let's see. Announce. There we go. They just killed it. 1 to 10 reverse stock split. No, you're going to $40 a share. Nobody's going to trade this one. That's out. We're out. We get to anchor. Quick garage band. Save. Okay. I thought it was a pretty good podcast today. I do have to go. But remember, hit the thumbs up. Just hit the thumbs up and subscribe, people. Subscribe already. I get more people on YouTube who just don't subscribe for some reason. 125. There we go. Upload. We're going to put a transition in. Which transition show? I usually do Peacock. I love, by the way, I like that one. Swapping tubes. Can I just tell you? So AT&T, I pay them $50 a month for my home internet service. I have 1 gig home internet service, both down and up. It is unbelievably good. Wow, look at this one. Sonoma Pharmaceuticals. They're up 83%. I'm surprised Boeing isn't on this list. Maris tipping down below $8. It didn't want to go to 10. Boyle is down at $9. Everybody keeps asking me, when's Boyle going to run? When's Boyle going to run? I told you guys it's going down to $4. KOLD is your play. Let's see. $25, $23. Update. And let's see. Anchor. We're going to take this and put this. Boom. And we're going to go to episodes. And we're going to copy down to notes. And I've gotten this pretty well. I'm going to put this. And we're going to say Boeing, ISRQ, NUT, HSY, shop, BAC, PFE, SCO, SRTY, VIG, Cisco, ATVI, AVGO. What's it doing on AMD? We want, let's check FFEI. Oh, it's broken down. Oh, no, that one. Okay, publish now. Okay, I'll be right back. Did she bury herself, or where is she at? Yeah, she's a cool girl. Okay, the other one's under there. I don't know why every time I freaking come in here, I gotta do. Yeah, UNH. I'm telling you, TQQQ doesn't want to break that $20. It's using it as support level. UNH is up 0.42. I think it's a $500 stock. But TQQQ doesn't want to break this $20 level. $20.03 to 2016. I'm telling you, once it breaks that $20 level, I think I may be buying some. Let's go to Twitter. And you go and copy this. Then I gotta put this damn thing up on Twitter. For some reason I get a ton of listens when I throw stuff on Twitter. And then I've got to copy. I don't know why that's doing that now. I should just tweet it out from freaking Spotify. But, oh well. We'll do this. I think I did Microsoft already. what's Constellation Brands again? Let me look. STZ, that's it. STZ. We're going to do that. And we're going to cut this out. And X. Tweet. Then we'll do Twitter. I don't understand why it's not showing the right graphic, but oh well. HSY. Do SPY, SOXL, AMZN, PX, T is up there. Okay, just tweet that out. 3 is enough. Now let me see. Where's my profile? It's either Twitter or Anchor that's messing up. Let me see my ones from yesterday. My ones from yesterday are showing up. So I don't know why. Must be Anchor. Okay. I like to look at some stats. You know what? Rather than look at stats, I'm going to be with you guys for about 10 more minutes. But you know what? Here, let's go back. This guy, I think it was Larry told me about this guy, Marcus. They're selling a book with their strategy, which is called the Wheel Strategy. It's options. And the Wheel Strategy, you can see it here. I don't know that I'm 100% sold. I mean, he's got his books up here. I mean, that's just, hey, I can buy a printing cover from somebody and put a book up there. But let's go back in and let me see how many people are. We got 20 likes. I want more likes. I want more likes. But let's look at live. How to make money from your YouTube comment. He's live. 289 people. These guys are a regular. Ooh, we got Deer Pantry close up. We watched raccoons. Here's the raccoon. Road south. 3 people watching that. Trades by Matt. He's pretty good. He's got a great freaking setup. Live Forex trading. This guy has 943 people watching. I won't trade Forex. I mean, it's gambling essentially. Stock market coverage from Yahoo. We got 130 people watching. Day 76 crypto bull market. I mean, this guy's trading crypto. Of course, it's been in a bull market. Tasty Live. I like these women. Well, there were women yesterday. I guess. Oh, this is the guy that's on CNBC all the time. Meet the Future. Omar Khan. Be Love. Is he frozen? He's frozen. Gold live Forex trading. This guy's got a good setup. I got to work on my Pi, all things cash. Why does this remind me of Elf? He reminds me of Peter Dinklage in Elf. In that little picture that he had.
You need to learn to stop tighter, but profit is profit. Congratulations, CML.
GME down.
Consolidation and support here for SPX.
UPST, Upstart.
I don't know how bullish this is. And it looks like we failed to break out of like this descending wedge here. That could mean that we have a bit of a rough pullback in store.
I just don't want to sit here and watch charts all day. Let's see. Show more. Day trading. Become a member. I mean, he's got membership opportunities. Channel subreddit. I do have to start a subreddit. Let's see the Twitch. Is he live on Twitch and Playing with Pickles? Is he live on both?
Futures broke 30.
No. That's just his gaming channel.
So, I guess we'll see if it retests.
OpX, MOS, Bingo, Socials, Discord. So he has a Discord group. My Reddit profile for previous and daily. Twitter, charting software and brokerage. He has Webull. We all have Webull. Coinbase referral link. I should get a Coinbase referral link for you fuckers. I do have to tell you.
What is Powell speaking? I don't know if he speaks this week.
Next week.
I don't think there's a Powell speech this
No, they're in a blackout period. It's Wednesday. MTB dork. Gordon Ramsay is here. Okay, there's nothing going on here.
rate decision on the first.
Why are there 1,300 people watching? Mods are suppressing NoPEX questions. NoPEX confirmed. Not really. I'm still bullish. Oh, he's got moderators too. So he's got a Reddit forum. I should start a Reddit forum. I was thinking about doing a Wikipedia article on myself. But I need to do a Reddit forum, it looks like. I need to get my my stuff out there. Who wants to start helping me? This guy. I don't like this kid. This kid's all flex. He was featured on TrendSpider's channel one time. Knows what he's talking about. Still in high school. But I just don't like him. And we'll show you his...
I ask almost every single day, yo, PB, what's a stop loss and how can I use one? Here's how. First off, a stop loss is an order that allows you to calculate your risk.
He's got good information. 2.25 thousand. So he's only got 2,000 subscribers. But on Twitter, he's huge. Let's see. PB Investing. Let's go to Twitter. PB Investing. I think I do follow him. PB Investing. Here he is. He's got 81,000 followers. The problem is options trading changed my life at 15 years old. The information in this trade can be life-changing. No. Options may have changed his life. He posts, and this was my main problem last week. Where is it? He posted this. This week I made $11,463 in the stock market. Awesome week. this right here, you can paper trade this. Just realize that this may not, very well may be true. May be true. But it's 100% a paper trading platform. TradeZella is a paper trading platform. You can journal your trades. This could be a paper trading thing. He's got 88% win rate. No, sorry. Don't believe it. And yeah, he's got these people, Umar, keep crushing it. Day trading for 9+ years. He founded TradeZella. So he's getting your monthly subscription. So he's saying, yeah, don't mind the haters. Maya Trades is private. I follow her. But she's part of his group. Turkish, he's part of the group. KC Trades, part of the group. I mean, again, these guys all pay him, and then they're pumping him up because my guess is they all share in the trades. The monthly revenue stream. TradeZella, I looked at it. In fact, I think I still have it up. No, I think I have it on my MacBook, on my iPhone. But yeah, TQQQ will not go under this $20. $20.02. We're about to go under 20. Do. The bid is at 20. It's under 20. Boom. Now, when we get confirmation, we buy. But it's 10:40. I got to go. I got 5 minutes. I'll stay 5 minutes. If we get confirmation, we go. Because, again, I don't want to sit here and stare at charts all day. I should just put in a buy for... See, we're up over 20 again. I might put in a buy. Let's see. Let's go back to... Oh, I was on Active Trader Pro. I was looking at TQQ on Active Trader Pro. See, we're at $20.10 now. It dips under 20 and then goes back over 20. It hit 1998. But it still doesn't have confirmation. Let's look at TQQQ. This has been on a run. So TQQQ here at 1676, we had a buy-in. You're at 20. Nice 20% move, and you're still down. Could have sold up here at 22 for a, what? That's $6. What's 6 divided by 16?
It's 0.375.
0.375%. It's a great trade. I'd sell here at 20. If I were holding at 16, I'd sell here at 20. Just because you're getting this button hook again. Now, mind you, the algorithm loses you 38%. Buying and holding TQQQ loses you 54% over 1,000 candles. And remember, losing 50% on a trade means you have to gain 100% to get back what you initially put in. The way back is much harder than the way down. Much harder than the way down. Wow, and you're really down on Apple's way down, Amazon's way down. Boeing is at 205. Boeing under 200. I'm buying that one all day long. Cleveland Cliffs is at $20.07. Under 20, buy it all freaking day long. Costco at 486. We're heading back down on Costco. I may put in a buy for $20. Costco, I think you're going to hit, you may be heading down towards this gap right here. You may just maybe, I mean, here, let's take a look at SPY. I'm not showing you what I'm looking at. SPY. When we take a look at SPY here, you're getting this button hook. See how you had a button hook? And then you had a bounce here. You're getting a short-term head and shoulders. Well, I should say a inverse head and shoulders, which would be interesting. But you could be going down to 387 on the SPY, which would be a good pullback to the 50-day, which is what it did here. Boy, if you pull back that much on the SPY, what's everyone trading? SNOA, this one, holy crap, 74%. Doesn't have confirmation on the 5-minute though. Probably pulling back a little bit. Microsoft bouncing off this 230 level. Shopify is kind of coming back down to reality. AMD is taking a breather after its crazy run. Nvidia taking a breather after its crazy run. Boyle looks like $9 may be a support level here. I'm sorry, $8. Are you trading TQQQ, Robert? Or just the Qs? Remember, this is the big difference here. If you're trading QQQ, good investment. You own part of the NASDAQ 100. Great investment. If you trade TQQQ, yeah, it's triple levered. You're not buying the NASDAQ. You're buying options traded on the NASDAQ. And options expire. So it's a decaying asset. Boyle has just, I mean, look at KOL. Oh, that's LabU. Why does it do that to me? Freaking Active Trader Pro. KOLD's up 4.5%. Boyle. LabU, by the way. Oh God, that one's crashing. It's using the $8 as its support level. But Boyle are down 4.32%. Look at that. It's using that $9 right there. If we zoom in, this is just today, and see how that it just went below. This one went to $8.91, but it's using $9 as its support level. You've got confirmation on Boyle if you want to trade that one. I would probably trade it to the 200-day and have a sell order in at 952 if you're buying at 924. It's the way you scalp these things. I mean, look, you traded so far today 15 million in volume. You're not at half the day, and your 30-day volume or 10-day volume is at 30 million. So you're higher in trading today, which should push this up. Let's look at a 5-day and look at the chart. Look at the volume. Yeah, see how you've got so much more volume in the morning here? And look at how the volume picks up in the afternoon the past few days. It was just flat. There wasn't volume enough to keep it up there. But, okay, folks, I am out. Hit that thumbs up button. I will talk to you